How's it going, football fans? Welcome inside the set of Gridiron Glory. How you doing, folks? I'm Blake Brody. 3 weeks of the season have come and gone, and some teams are emerging as legitimate contenders. Conference plays in action in the MVL and the TBC Hocking, and tonight marked the beginning of SEOAL action. Still, though, 7 weeks left in the season, and there's still much to be determined. Well, looking to bounce back from a Week 3 loss is Parkersburg South. Last week, the Patriots had no answer for Morgantown's running game, and it cost them in a 28-7 defeat. Tonight, Coach Boland's club looked to righten the ship against Muscleman. And welcome up to the desk our West Virginia reporter, Pat Moore. Pat, last week the Patriots just didn't match up well with the physicality of Morgantown. What can we expect from the Patriots tonight?
Well, Blake, I mean, really, when we spoke to Coach Boland, he said that he thinks the Muscleman Applemen, great name by the way, are the fastest team in the state of West Virginia. So the Patriots go from playing the big boys from Morgantown to this deathly speed from Muscleman. We're hanging out at the Erickson All Sports Facility, EASF, or ISF for short. I don't know how you like your abbreviations, Blake. But Captain's doing their meet and greet. The Patriots would start with the ball, and Jordan Kiocho is making something happen with a 57-yard scamper down the sideline. Would actually get knocked out before crossing the plane, and he would find the painted grass 3 plays later on this 4-yard touchdown run, and giving Peace South the early first quarter 7-0 lead.
Good response.
Yeah, definitely. But now second quarter action, Josh Ferguson doing his little Barry Sanders impression.
They were worried about him all week.
He was smooth, 13 yards there on the counter. He then would cap his scoring drive with a 4-yard touchdown, tying things up 7-7. Now, Peace South with the ball again, and Kiocho, faking out our cameraman Aaron Schneider, but he actually managed to get the good stuff here at the end of the play. Down the sideline, he would actually score this one for a 44-yard touchdown, giving the Parkersburg South the lead again, 14-7, halfway through the second quarter. But 2 minutes before half, Caleb Dembeck finds Mitchell right there. Beautiful strike, 25 yards to tie things back up 14-14. But this is a great play. Right before half, Jake Douglas takes the handoff and boom, see ya. Just giving Monsanto the business. But Muscleman pulled this one out 21-20 on a botched extra point by Parkersburg South in the fourth quarter. It was a thriller. And also, standout Jordan Kiocho was ejected late in the fourth quarter on a personal foul. And we also hear he might be suspended for next week's game, which is just huge.
Yeah, that's a really tough one to overcome for Parkersburg South. Really crazy game. They had the ejection of their best player in Kiocho, but also just the fact they lost by a missed extra point. It's a real tough one for them. Yeah,
it's losing 21-20. It's like the botch is just nothing good there, and really moving forward without Kiocho, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got to righten the ship next week. Playoff points are always on the line in West Virginia. Pat, good stuff tonight. Thanks. Now, as talented as Sheridan is, the Generals came into the offseason with legit question marks, replacing quarterback C.J. Myers, probably the biggest. But Drew Murray, through 3 weeks, has been efficient, if not spectacular, completing 85% of his passes with 6 touchdowns through 3 weeks. Now we're joined live in Zanesville with our MVL reporter, Pat Chiesa. Pat, this was a big chance tonight for Sheridan to prove that what they've been doing through 3 weeks, which has been dominant, was no fluke, with probably their biggest contender in Crooksville tonight.
Yeah, Blake, tonight was supposed to be the biggest test the Generals would face so far this season. Crooksville was 1 play away from being undefeated heading into this game, so many figured they would cause Sheridan some problems. Ceramics coach Dave WOUB said it would be vital for his team to come out and set the tone early on in this one.
When I spoke with Generals coach Paul Culver earlier this week, he expressed disappointment that his starters haven't been able to play the entire game. Well, tonight wouldn't be any different, but I guess that's not a bad thing if you're a Sheridan Generals fan. Early on here, Drew Murray hooks up with Jacob Horsley for 30 yards down to the Crooksville 6. Nice catch there by Jacob, but on the very next play, Mitchell Fouch runs around his blockers and into the end zone for 6. 12-0 Generals still in the first quarter. After a Crooksville 3-and-out, the Generals just keep on rolling. Fouch takes it 53 yards on the first play of the second quarter. Took him 9 seconds to get into the end zone. 20-0 Generals after a 2-point run by Nick Allsbuck. Crooksville trying to get something going here, 3rd and 20, and this play won't end well. Joey Eversole and Jacob Horsley get to Lake Channel, and that's a safety, so Sheridan gets the ball back. And on the first play from scrimmage, Drew Murray is ghost. 43-yard run for the signal caller. The extra point is good, 29-0 Generals. Murray also finished the night 8 of 13 for 91 passing yards. His teammates showing him some love there. But give it to Crooksville, they kept on lining up and going hard. Here, Lake Channel finds his senior receiver Luke Hahn for 26 yards, but they would eventually turn the ball over on downs. And with 4:37 left in the half, Crooksville gets the ball again, 3rd and 2 in their own territory, and Lake Channel would once again be sunk in the end zone, this time by big R.J. Wall. So Sheridan gets the ball back, and mama, there goes that man again. Mitchell Fouch, 56 yards for another score, 4 touchdowns on the night for Fouch, and the Generals roll 50-0.
And as we look at the full screen here, all touchdowns coming from the ground game for the Generals. And you know what, Blake? Give it to Sheridan's defense too for putting the clamps on Crooksville running back, the Miller transfer, Colton Gill. He had nowhere to run tonight, and really just an all-around impressive performance, a statement win for the Generals.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat, and obviously no fluke for Sheridan. They roll again tonight, another impressive performance. Drew Murray, once again tonight, efficient, 8 of 13, a couple touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground. Coach Culver's got to be happy with his performance tonight, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, Blake. You know, Coach Culver kind of criticized him earlier this week. As good as his numbers have been, he said he has to make better decisions, and tonight, you know what, I think he did that. He showed great pocket presence, great job finding his receivers, and you saw that 43-yard run, too. The kid has a burst of speed as well. But, you know, Mitchell Fouch made things pretty easy for Drew Murray, running for 200 and something yards and 4 TDs the way he did.
Absolutely. Mitchell Fouch, a huge game. Sheridan, maybe any questions they have left will be answered next week when they face Cambridge in a huge game. Pat, thanks a lot for your stuff tonight. Good stuff.
Thanks.
Well, stay tuned for highlights of Jackson and Logan coming up later in the show. It's our game of the week, and it features our last 2 SEOAL champions. Carter Rodriguez and Josh Hunsberger team up to break it all down, so stick around. All the attention in the TVC Ohio has been directed towards Nelsonville, York, Athens, and Alexander. But not far behind is Meigs. The Marauders have quietly strung together back-to-back wins and are gaining momentum as we approach league play in the Ohio. Now joined by our TVC Ohio reporter, Frank Bum. Frank, looks like Meigs now becoming another horse in this TVC Ohio race.
Well, it certainly looks that way, Blake, but this game against Minford would be huge in determining whether or not the Marauders could continue their winning streak and head into conference play with some momentum. Head coach Mike Chansey told me they needed to cut down on the penalties and play solid defense to take down the Falcons. Mike Chansey going for his 100th win this game against Minford, but Minford would start off the game with Tyler Gaines' 10-yard touchdown just bowls through the line on a second effort, 7-0 early Minford. Then Evan Howard, he passes, but it's tipped at the line. Blake Crow would intercept the ball and would set up going in, and then Dylan Boyer rolling out. He's trying, he's looking, and then he just starts scrambling. He's very small, 5'6",
wow,
but he
makes
runs.
something out of nothing there.
He does, and goes 20 yards, which would set up this Charlie Barrett 1-yard touchdown, 7-all at the end of the first, and then a high snap on a punt. This would dog Minford all game long, and it sets up this Boyer 40-yard touchdown pass to running back Jeffrey Ross. He's all alone, 13-7 after a no-good extra point in the second. Then Boyer rolling out, hits Zach Sayre. Zach Sayre looks like he's going to be down, but second effort touchdown.
Man, what effort.
21-7, and then later in the third quarter, an early whistle on this fake dive boot by Boyer, but it would ultimately be ruled a touchdown. 28-7 at the end of the third. The only thing hotter than the Meigs offense was their hot chocolate.
It looks like you enjoyed your something during the game.
I really did. Just Meigs rolls 35-7. They've strung together 3 solid wins, and they go into conference play with a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. Don't look now. Meigs plugging right along, 3 in a row, and they took down Minford tonight, a team who beat Nelsonville York in the state playoffs last year. What impressed you the most about their performance tonight?
In one word, penalties. They went from 12 penalties for 125 yards last game to 0 penalties this game, so Mike Chansey's got to be happy about that.
Yeah, now safe to say, Meigs, another contender in the Ohio. What do you think about them contending in this league?
If they do, they've got to do exactly what they did against Minford, with just cut down on the penalties. They had only 1 interception, so they've got to do what they did this game with 0 penalties and cutting down on the turnovers.
All right, well, I think it's safe to say this is now becoming a 4-headed monster in the TVC Ohio. Meigs looks really good right now. Get a big win tonight. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Thank you, Blake.
Well, one of the more taken for granted aspects of high school football and really sports in general are the officials. Sure, the refs are easy targets, but without them, the game becomes utter chaos. Gridiron reporter Nick Hurst caught up with a unique pair of referees.
Yeah, that's right, Blake. Officiating is often underappreciated in sports. Siblings Mike and Joan Froof have officiated numerous sports for over 30 years. The most satisfying part of their job is being there for the kids.
Sports are a family affair.
For Joan and Mike Froof, sports are also a job, and their job is one of the most unforgiving, but it has made their bond stronger.
I think it is something that we can do together, and you know, it's something we can talk about, and we go to meetings together, and that makes it definitely does make it so you can be closer.
For them, being a referee is not about the money.
Over the years, I've worked far more games at Little League level, Little League baseball, softball, whatever, that I never got paid for.
The biggest reason that we referee at and we've refereed at every level, that, you know, varsity and down, is because we do it so the kids can play.
I would encourage people to not necessarily enter into officiating for the money, because it's more about the kids and the integrity and the sportsmanship than it is about the money.
Joan Froof, despite her gender, has earned the respect from many coaches. She is the most tenured female official for football in the state of Ohio.
You just really wanted people to be able to look at you not as a female official, just as an official. And my mom always said I didn't look like a girl out there, I just looked like I was really short and had a ponytail.
Clearly, the Froofs enjoy what they do and have had a lot of fun working together over the years. In addition to officiating, Mike and Joan work for their family-owned pharmacy chain. The Froofs have no plans to retiring from officiating anytime soon, and would like to keep doing it until they feel like they cannot do it anymore. Blake, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Nick. When first-year head coach Doug Miller took over at Federal Hocking in the offseason, he knew the Lancers' lack of senior leadership would be tough to overcome. Tonight's opponent, Southern, and they're in nearly the exact same precarious situation. Now we welcome up, making his Gridiron Glory debut, Keith Turner. Keith, maybe the real storyline coming into this game was the youth and inexperience on both sides of the sidelines here tonight. Fed Hoc looking for their first win in well over a season now. What would it take to get it done?
Hey, one word, defense, Blake. They worked all week on stopping Tornado's offensive attack, and they did it tonight. As we start to head out to the Lancers Stadium, the Lancers are entering very, very, very hungry. We're going to start with Fed Hawks quarterback Kyle Jackson as he completes a pass to Delbert Pete Crum, who tries to go Air Jordan on us, Blake, and picks up a Lancer first down.
Big play.
But then Southern's Tyler Barton punches in a 1-yard touchdown run for the lead. But their extra point would be blocked. And by the way, Blake, the Lancers blocked 2 of those tonight. And then quarterback Josh Cunningham, but Southern's extra point would be, and Southern would keep the lead 6-0 at half. And Blake,
big play here for him.
oh yeah, huge play. They get the turnover, they get the interception, and I tell you what, Blake, that was a huge play, but it was called back on a penalty. So they kept the and look, our freshmen, they're enjoying our hot chocolate. And then the Wildcat comes out for the
Fed Hoc.
For the Fed Hoc, yeah. Southern's. So he scores this touchdown.
Wildcat was a big thing.
It was huge. It was huge for him today. And then the Tornadoes, he throws up a prayer. He better be glad God answers prayers, because this is and they're deep, deep into their territory. And then he tries to roll out, but their defense was very tough for Fed Hoc once again tonight. There's a sack, and here's another sack, Blake. Here's another one on the Tornadoes quarterback.
Man, defense
was very, very tough tonight. Very tough. And then Kyle Jackson had a 1-yard run to end the game with 41 seconds. They go on to win 18-12, Blake. A very, very tough win. First win for
Fed Hoc, yeah.
Exactly.
And you said it going in that they had to play a good defense in order to get a win. They did play good defense tonight, held Southern to only 12 points, and what do you know? They get their first win.
Exactly, Blake. And I tell you what, man, that Wildcat in the second half was huge, huge for them tonight, because they had 221 second half stats. Have yards, and it was huge for them, man, to 183 on the Tornado side.
Right, okay. Well, Fed Hoc gets their first win. We'll see if maybe they can turn this into something.
I think they can,
led by
man.
Delbert Crum. Keith, great job tonight. Good stuff. Thank you. Oh, for score alerts around the area on Friday night, there's nothing better than Twitter at Gridiron Glory, so give us a follow. And our Facebook page has been buzzing lately. Give us a like, and you just might be named our Gridiron Glory Facebook Fan of the Week. Winners are invited to our Player of the Year award ceremony at the end of the season. Now, exactly 1 year ago today, a tornado came through the plains and destroyed the Bulldogs' Basil Rudder Field. But the community showed great resolve in turning tragedy into triumph. Gridiron Glory reporter Morgan Rupert tells us how.
It is said that time heals all wounds, but for Athens, 1 year was enough to mend the community's wounds and give it a new place to call home.
First of all, it was kind of a surprise because tornadoes usually don't hit here. The hills usually break them up, and so for a tornado to score a direct hit on a field in high school, it was surprising, if nothing else.
Well, just at a glance, when you first look at it, you say, well, we're not playing here anymore. But the real damage was noticed the next day and real late that evening.
Once the dust settled from last year's disaster, it was clear that Athens' season and landscape had changed. The Bulldogs were left without a home, and the community was left devastated. But it wasn't long before the rebuilding efforts began.
Mike and me got involved with the Bulldog Blitz and members of the community, and they decided to have a concentrated effort on trying to rebuild the facility.
That effort, made up of countless donations, helped replace everything that the team lost and gave them so much more.
We have a new concession stand. We had to get a new press box. We had to replace our bell tower right behind us here. All the wall, the brick is all brand new, all through donors. The community donating a lot of money to give these, football players, soccer players a great place to play their sports.
Yeah, it's really exciting because the field's really nice now, and they've been working on it since the tornado, and I think it's really great how they did that.
After all the hard work put in by the community in the past year, the new Basil Rudder Field left students and staff in awe.
Boys, they're going to love playing on this. They're going to be fast. They're not going to get tired. That is like walking on pillows on your feet. That field is amazing.
The team rewarded the public's efforts on opening night with a 48-14 win. With a new home in place, the 86th year of Athens football has become a season-long celebration for the community and the sport it loves.
One donor especially helped with the rebuilding of the new stadium. Athens graduate Scott Riggs pledged $300,000 to the renovation. Blake, back to you.
Man, a big thumbs up goes out to that entire Athens community. Thanks a lot, Morgan. Oh, the celebration at Basil Rudder continued tonight as the Bulldogs played their second game now at new Scott Riggs and Family Field. The Bulldogs are doing their part to break the stadium in the right way, shooting out of the gates to 3-0, but Chillicothe came in tonight looking to crash the party. Joined now on the desk by our TVC Ohio reporter, Justin Sampson. We saw Megs earlier tonight keep up the great work in the TVC Ohio. Bulldogs big winners tonight too.
Well, it was definitely an emotional atmosphere, to say the least, Blake. Only the second game ever at new Basil Rudder Field. And as you said, the Cavaliers came in tonight trying to spoil the party, but so did the cold, causing mistakes early and throughout the ball game. 7 turnovers between the two teams. 4 by Athens, 3 by Chillicothe. Athens definitely needed this one because Nelsonville York and Alexander posted big wins already. But on their first possession, Josh Skinner, that's a pretty spiral, but it's getting picked off near the goal line and going the other way for the Cavaliers. But later on that offensive possession for the Cavaliers, Julius Lee, he's going to bounce to the outside, make a couple guys miss. It looks like he's going to get the whole sideline and maybe the angle. He's possibly thinking 6, but then look what happens. Whoop, where's the ball going? It's getting snatched out of the air by Austin Zielkowski, and it's going back Athens' way after a little scramble for the ball.
Wow, big play for Bulldogs.
But after another turnover, quick 20-yard strike from Ryan Mathis to Donald Turley makes it 7-0, but Mitch Ryder on the next possession blows the play up. The shot heard around Rudder. Oh my goodness, and the Hoss needs his hydration because he knows he just did some work. But later, near the halftime, gets a first down right there, quick strike, but then Coach Adams calls his team over and says, come on, man, which translates to get in that end zone. And somebody must have been listening because number 5, 2 plays later, 11-yard TD strike to the opposite corner. That would be his first strike of the ball game, going in 7-6 at halftime, but he would have plenty more scores than this one. Athens takes this one 28-14, 3 TDs by Devon Sharp, and they keep pace and have a sleek 4-0 record to start off this campaign.
Man, Athens once again doing it on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Sharp with 200+ yards tonight. He's an animal. Justin, thanks a lot tonight. Extra points time now. You know the drill. 2 games broken down in 1 minute's time. We're going to start out with Wahama and Belpre. This one was all Wahama tonight at Ralph Holder Stadium. First play, Kane Roush, sweep outside. He gets deep into Belpre territory. Just all Wahama tonight. This play is a good indicator of how. Sets up Zach Wamsley for a 1-yard score. More Wahama here. Not done here. Wamsley scampers in for his second TD of the quarter. Later on now, Trenton Gibbs finds Isaac Lee. He's a playmaker for him. That's a 7-yard touchdown. Wahama rolls 61-3. Now we go out to Warren Warrior Stadium. Screen pass here. Dylan Leffingwell takes it himself for the score. Warren here not done. Another one here from 1 yard out. Leffingwell doing it all for Warren. Big play. Portsmouth now, they're trying to claw back. Mason Jordan gets intercepted, and Warren would cruise in this one 51-21. Well, when Jackson and Logan match up, you can bet for a great atmosphere at either venue. The two schools, simply put, don't like each other, and the fans take a lot of pride in outdoing the other. Now, with the Logan Fair in town, the atmosphere maybe wasn't quite what we've seen in the past, but still, no problem at all finding this week's Fan of the Week. It's heavy. Take it from me. Take it. This is all you. I'll just go ahead and stick to just being the host and finding a Fan of the Week. This is literally the sweetest costume I've seen in any of the Fan of the Weeks that I've gone to.
Thank you.
At this point, it's these real feathers too. Oh, good job. They're gonna win tonight. Good job. Thanks, Drew. Are you gonna do anything special during the game, Thor wide? Other than just look just like him.
I might send lightning down upon the Ironman.
I'm a first timer here. I'm a little bit nervous. I hate to pull a Mitchell and, you know, be very underwhelming. Yeah. This little thing looks small and innocent, but it packs a punch. Okay, picking out our Fan of the Week here in Logan was a pretty simple choice as soon as we got in here. Zane, dressing up as a chieftain tonight. His whole plan is to pump the entire crowd up, and with the fair in town, it's going to be an especially challenging one this week. So Zane, hands down, you are Gridiron Glory's Week 4 Fan of the Week.
All right, let's go Chiefs!
Now, in 2009, the Logan Chieftains won their unprecedented 6th straight SEOAL title. But in 2010, that run came to an end when Jackson rolled through the league undefeated while handing Logan their first league loss in 34 games. Tonight, they matched up in our Game of the Week. Tag team in our coverage of this game, Josh Hunsberger and Carter Rodriguez. Fellas, we were expecting a close game going into tonight. You guys were just in agony trying to pick a winner for this one. The game certainly delivered.
Yeah, like it was quite an interesting game tonight at Logan Chieftain Stadium. Plenty of fans were leaving at halftime, but boy, were we glad that we stayed. There were plenty of gridiron-worthy plays in this one, Carter. How did it all shake out?
Well, you're right. When we were all making predictions, well, we're just actually going to jump right into it. Kelly Wolf and his mustache were in prime form, trying to lead their team to victory. And Chieftains draw first blood. Kelly Long hits Isaac Lindsay for a 57-yard pass. That's the first. That sets up the first touchdown against the Ironmen all season. 7-0 Chiefs. Austin Osborne won't be outdone. That's a 19-yard bubble screen to Ty McNelly, which sets up a 3-yard touchdown punch from Drew Irvin. Tie game 7-7. Kelly Long trying to get the Chieftains the lead back. He gets picked off by Ty McNally.
Yeah, this kid, oh, he's a pure playmaker. Looking at him here, going Dion on Logan. Look at him, circle button, spin move, takes it back. What's he doing next, Carter?
Oh, well, you know, he started the drive. He wants to finish it. That's a 9-yard touchdown, 14-7 Ironman. The turnovers plagued the Chieftains all game. That's a botched snap. Ironmen recover, and then next play, Austin Osborne goes ham on the Chieftains. How about a little run? Number 7, that's an arm tackle. That doesn't bring me down. That's a touchdown, 21-7 Chiefs. A couple drives later, another botched down. Josh, what happens?
I'm pretty sure Jackson's probably going to capitalize on this one.
And they do. Ty McNelly huge bomb, end zone. He leads the team in touchdown receptions and swagger. Of course, Logan's not ready to die yet. How about a 92-yard touchdown pass to Sean Watring?
How about it? Long. Nice to see him stepping up in the pocket, throwing. He threw for 285 tonight.
35-19 Logan. They're getting pumped, and it is a botch snap time. McNally misses the snap. He cramps up, and then Kenny Simpson recovers in the end zone. Logan's within single digits. It's 35-26, but then Nathan Parks picks off Kelly Long. Jackson is able to escape Logan, 49-32. And, you know, it's a 17-point game, but it was one of the most exciting of the year.
Yeah, it wasn't the one we expected, but it was a fun one to watch. Back to you, Blake.
All right, a lot of points scored in that one, guys. Thanks a lot. Looks like we can officially label Jackson the team to beat in the SEOAL. Well, now that you've seen our game of the week, that does it for our coverage of tonight's action. But before we turn our attention to Week 5, let's take another look at these standout moments from week number 4. Starts out in Chillicothe, Julius Lee scampering down the sideline. This is Chillicothe's first possession. Looks like everything's going to go right for the Cavaliers, but then the ball flies in the air, a big old fumble. Austin Zielkowski with the recovery and the hit. Athens wins 28-14. Number 2 now. Ty McNally interception. Big play for the Ironman early in the game, and he's not done either. He takes it back quite a ways. Nice spin move there. Jackson would go on and take this one. We aren't even done with this game yet because our number 1 play also from this one. Logan here with the big play. Sean Watring, slants, catch, gone. 92-yard touchdown score. All alone, scampers all the way to the end zone. Logan the top play, but Jackson the victory. Well, we're almost at the halfway point of the season with Week 5 staring us straight in the face. Here's a look at what to expect from us next Friday night. 4 weeks down, 6 weeks to go. Next week, the halfway point of a season that's flying by. TVC Hocking has 2 undefeateds remaining, Waterford and Wahama. Week 5, they match up, and only one team will walk away still unbeaten. Also among the undefeated, Nelsonville York. Behind Dustin Young and a dominating defense, the Buckeyes have been unchallenged. But they face their stiffest test when Logan comes to town, looking for a big win before they get back into SEOAL play. Chillicothe and Portsmouth look to turn their season around when it matters most, conference time. Parkersburg is rolling in the Mountaineer State. They'll put their top 5 ranking on the line next week against St. Albans. At long last, we get our first look at NBL heavyweight Tri-Valley. The Scotties look to stay unbeaten when they host the battle-tested Crooksville Ceramics, coming off a matchup with Thanks Sheridan. for joining us. That'll do it.
Support comes from the Holzer Center for Joint Replacement, orthopedic surgeons offering advanced techniques including computer-navigated surgery of the hip, knee, and shoulder. Serving the tri-state, it's the Holzer Center for Joint Replacement. And by Precision Imprint, specializing in custom printing and embroidering for businesses, schools, and organizations year-round. Precision Imprint at 740-592-5916 or on the web at precisionimprint.com, 26 East State Street in Athens. And by Dials Hearing Center, opening up a world of sound with professional audiology services in Athens and Jackson. Dials Hearing Center, 740-594-3571 or 800-237-7716. Helping people hear since 1949. And by Donato's of Athens, featuring pizza, subs, and salads along with catering. Located at 668 East State Street in Athens or by phone at 740-592-5049. Information online at www.donatos.com.
Tonight, Simon Sharma with some forceful ideas about the need for government.